Hi guys.
Hi guys.
We wanted to thank you guys for the great comments and all the views that we got on our last video. That was our first video that we did since we've been back from Portugal. Now those of you who don't know us and you're just visiting us for the first time on our channel, I'm Laura.
I'm Carlos.
This is Carlos.
Yep.
And we are in Canada, but we were in Portugal. And that's what our channel's about, having the best of both worlds in Canada and Portugal. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing long stays.
So through a lot of the great comments we've been getting, there's a variety of them, right? So it touches sometimes just on tourism, sometimes it touches on things like real estate, what we're doing there. Sometimes it's the renos we're doing. It's amazing because they're all varied. The question is, why is the off season the best time for long stays? So being in the travel business, for example, long stays are very popular. Most of the times Canadians, for example, they call them snowbirds. When the cold kind of gets around, they
take off to the Algarve.
Yeah, they fly away. And over the years, everyone knows Canadians go down south to Florida, Arizona, very popular areas. But more recent, more and more people are going to Europe. And in Portugal, the main area is Algarve, the southern part of Portugal. And it's one of the top places in the world for long stays, for 2 months, 3 months. That's usually the average when people are there. Spain is also popular, Italy. France, they all have their price tags, so it all depends on your budget and what you want out of your stay. What do you know, that kind of thing. So obviously, if you want to be close to nightlife, if that's your thing, because nightlife is not just for young people, right? It could be for retired people of all ages. Sometimes you need a bit of nightlife. So what I'm trying
Carlos is a good dancer.
Yeah.
Look out! Give the kid some room. He's taking over again. All right, go! Take it going. Let's go!
I haven't danced in a while actually, but the reason why I brought that up is the destinations is usually depending the ones you choose on the person, obviously. And but long stays in the Azores is where we're going to focus on. We're obviously in Pico Island, but Pico Island's in the Azores. When you think of the Azores, you think Pico Island, and I think that's yeah. We're going to go.
Well,
with
when people think about the Azores, they think of San Miguel.
Yeah, the biggest island. So maybe we'll just go quickly over the islands before we get into the 5 top things.
Yeah, there are 9 islands in the Azores, and can I name them? I'm going to try.
See if you get it. Okay, I'm going to time you.
Let's see. San Miguel, Fayal, Pico, Terceira, Santa Maria, Corvo.
Think flowers.
Oh, Flores.
Graciosa.
Yeah, Graciosa.
São Jorge.
And São Jorge. I do know all the islands, but you know, being on the spot, pressure.
So there's 9 beautiful islands. They're all unique, okay, and they all some are bigger, some are smaller. The smallest one being Corvo, 400 people live there. The largest one is San Miguel. Second largest landmass is Pico, where we're pretty much in. So
that's what we're going to be talking about when we talk about long stays. Is pretty much around Pico, and we're going to list 5 reasons why Pico or Azores it's the best place for long stays.
But just keep in mind that when we talk about Pico, we literally talk about Azores.
Yeah.
So these reasons are for all the islands. Okay, so I think that's important to know. It's not just Pico or Corvo. Again, they're all going to have different reasons why you would choose one over the other, but that's up to you. So before getting into the top 5 reasons why the off season is the best time for long stays, I'm just going to touch a little bit on the actual tourist seasons. Okay, now this is through my experience, but it's pretty much industry standards, these time periods that I'm going to give you. There's high season, low season, and shoulder season. Okay, so for example, high season. Now every destination is going to have varied months. Okay, I'm just talking about the Azores right now, and pretty much Portugal. High season would be like mid-June to mid-September, first week. That would be high season, according to the statistics. And a lot of the people are going over to the Azores and Portugal, the summer season, and pretty much all Europe, most of Europe. The shoulder season would be followed the summer. So, for example, you would go into the rest of September, October, November, but also you would add April and May and part of June. I would call that shoulder season according to the Azores. And then the winter season is all the other months. So you would be looking mostly at December, January, February, March. Those 4 months are technically, like you would say, they're the winter months, okay? And being there for a year, this time around, we got to experience all the months.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, there's the tourists are there. They opened up. COVID's been fairly low there, so I can see when COVID's pretty much a little bit more behind us, it's be a bit of a boom in all of the Azores in Portugal and Europe in general.
Yeah, because this summer season, it was already busy.
Yeah, and that's one reason why I feel that for Canadian travelers, that's being in Canada, and I'm really trying to get more Canadians to travel there, the Canadians that have never been, and I think it's a great destination for them for their long stays. Okay, if they want to take off for a month, 2, 3 months, even if they want to avoid the winter, let's say January, February, March being the months usually average weather is about 16.
Yeah,
I think.
and that is the average temperature.
Average temperature in the winter. If it goes below 10, it's already not normal and it's rare. It is humid, right?
I think one time we were there in February, not this February past, but the February before, and it did get down to 6, but that's very abnormal.
It's very, very rare. So I just thought I'd touch on that. So when snowbirds take off out of here to Florida, for example, they're there pretty much the whole winter. When it's really cold here, they're out of here. Obviously.
Yeah, because the winters can get very cold here.
I mean, the difference is if you go to places like Mexico, and it's going to be more like in the 30s and plus, right? Where the Azores, and even the Azores especially, 28, 29 are usually the highs
In the summertime.
in the summer, and in the winter, or in the like in months like in the winter would be like 16,
Which
17.
is great golfing weather.
Yeah, 16, 17, and in the shoulder season you can get to 20s and 21. Just wanted you guys to know about because some people have to have the high temperatures, and you're gonna have to go somewhere else. Like no destinations for everybody, right? So
Yeah. So we're gonna start with our first reason why the Azores is great for long stays, and of course it's because of low tourist volume. You have more of the island to yourself. You have more quality of service. Not that they have bad service, but because it's so busy in the summertime, staff's really busy. They're running around, and so in the off season you get a little bit more attention from the staff. There's no lineups for restaurants. In the summertime, there's lineups. Sometimes you can't get in, you can't get a reservation. You have more variety of accommodations and car rentals. It's hard to find cars to rent in high season.
if you want to avoid all of that, you got to go in the off season, okay? And we've experienced that. Even activities, for example. There's some that don't operate all year round either. So like whale watching usually stops in November, opens up again in April, just so you know. So this is all stuff you can research. You can always send me a comment, an email. We're pretty much in tune with anything to do with tourism on the island.
Yeah. So the second reason why the Azores is great for long stays.
Yes. Second reason, we're going to touch on more in depth the accommodations. Okay, the lodgings, right? Like Laura said, variety, right? So the Azores already has a variety of types of accommodations: self-catering, rural. They have no luxury villas. They have some hotels, depending which island. They even have glamping now. I mean, it's all over the place. Okay, rustic homes, and I think you pretty much will have during the outside of the summer, you have pretty much a choice. You can choose where, let's say you wanted a self catering, you might in the summer they might be all taken. You got to get go to a different one. In the off season, in the shoulder season, you'll have access.
There's more flexibility on areas to stay when it's off season.
Yeah, around the island. So you might do a research on one of the islands. You like really a certain area. While during the summer, there might be nothing available for you. Where in the off season, again, you'll be able to stay in the area that you want, and because there's availability on the accommodations.
Yes.
Because without the accommodations, you got no stay, right?
Exactly.
So it's very important.
Can't go.
So always keep that in mind when, for example, I put packages together. It doesn't matter where you're going, but in this case, the Azores, it's something you have to take your time to make sure that the accommodation suit the traveler, the guest. It's the most important thing. You don't want to place, and so I think if you're a good agent, you're always going to do that. And there's a lot of good agents out there, and I think that's one of the most important things. You obviously don't want to put somewhere in a place where it's not for them. So
yes, exactly.
I think that's very
so
important.
that brings us to the third reason. It is the most affordable time to go.
The summer rates, they could average. I mean, we're not going to get into too much specific of rates, but it's the highest. I mean, sometimes in the off season, again, depending which months, you can get it for half, 50% less. So everyone has a budget. Everyone knows what they'd like to spend, and I think if you have that in mind, the longer you stay also in a particular lodging, the cheaper it gets per night.
Yeah. So for example, you could stay a month starting at 500 euros.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Again, depending on the size of the property, the location, I think that's very reasonable. There's not too many places where you can stay for about $500 a month, okay?
Yeah.
And be close to the ocean and close to the mountain. I mean, most of the islands will offer you that, right?
Yeah,
So,
and we're going to be working on some packages for long stays, so stay tuned for that.
yeah, I think I'm taking I'd like to create a little more of experiences. Everyone, again, aside from the stay, we're going to tie other things into it, depending on the guest, on the traveler, because
And what you like to do.
yeah, it's like creating kind of special packages for them. By doing this, doesn't mean you're paying more, or I mean, yeah, they're all going to have a price tag, but they're all going to be reasonable and important to the travelers. For example, if you do not drive, or you don't want to drive, whatever the reason, I'm going to create some packages that have transportation already included, so you know that you're never, if you want to stay more of a remote area, maybe 15-20 minutes away from a major spot, then it's okay, you'll be taken care of. There's going to be in the package which you've prepaid, there's already going to be the transportation element in there, so you don't have to worry. You're always going to be well connected to anywhere on the island.
Yeah, and the other is if you really don't want to cook, we would be able to get a cook to come in and do your meals for you.
Yeah, I think that already happens. I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel, but I think I just want to maybe try and set up some unique experiences. Obviously, people that go back that have family, they usually stay with them, but there's a lot of people that I believe are wanting to go to the Azores, have never been there, and they have their own needs. And I'm really paying attention, doing research, and being there for a year, I kind of got to see the variety that's already there. It's just it's basically matching them with the traveler. And I think I think 80% of a lot of the accommodations have self-catering in it. That doesn't mean you have to cook, but
yeah,
it's
because
there.
also the off season, a lot of those cooks are working in restaurants they're very, very busy. So in the off season, they would be available.
Yeah.
Right?
So again, if anything to do with if people are interested in going there, or they're already thinking, even it's a preliminary thought, it never hurts to send an email, start researching, just to get an idea. Because it's at the end of the day, there is going to be pretty good choice. And people think that because these are basically small islands in the middle of North Atlantic, there's little choice. That's not the case. There's a lot of choice. As for the packages, we're very lucky to have a very good list of various types of accommodations, great partners on Pico Island. I also know some on some of the other islands, but primarily on Pico Island. We could always refer people to other islands as well if we're not too familiar with it. But
yeah, and one of them is our cousin's houses, Vista Montaña.
Vista Montaña. There's a lot. This list is huge. and we've gathered, we've met with some of them, and we feel very comfortable that I think we have enough basically variety to suit different needs, and that's very important. Okay, we also work closely with a lot of the activities, you name it. The islands are pretty well set up with any activity that you want, all of the islands, and this is all makes part of the experience that we're trying to create.
So we can do custom
Yeah.
packaging. The next reason is most variety of nature. We find that the temperatures are a little bit more comfortable, especially if you're a hiker. I know that we have hiked in the summertime, and it does get very hot. You can find places to hike where it's shady, but I just found that it is a lot more comfortable.
Yeah.
You can go actually higher altitudes too.
It's not as hot.
Right? It's not as hot.
And some people want it hot. They like that really heat. I mean, I can do both, but never think you can hike in the off season. It's where a lot of people actually do probably a lot of the hiking, even going up to Pico. But it is busier. Like during the season, you get more tourists doing more hiking, doing more climbing of the mountains. So
Yeah. You can still swim as well in the off season. I mean, people were swimming all year round on Pico, and even San Miguel. We saw people swimming.
All the islands.
Yeah, January.
We swim in December.
Did we?
I think we went either end of November. We went for a swim.
I think
or
it was
December.
November.
Yeah.
But what's great about swimming in the off season is the swimming areas. They're not busy.
Yeah, they're pretty. Sometimes we're by ourselves, or a few other people. The water is colder, so always keep that. It's very fresh.
But even October, when we
great,
swam
yeah.
in September, October, even November,
2021.
the water was still beautiful.
Yeah. What I mean is, if you're used to those warm bath water, sometimes you get in Cuba, that's not going to happen there.
No.
On the other hand, they say that it's a very healthy area.
Yeah, because the Gulf Stream still goes through there.
It does, yeah. But you don't want. If you want to get if it's hot or if you want to jump in the water, you want some freshness in there, and I think you're going to get that for sure. Because there, sun is powerful, right?
Yes.
And you got all the lava attracting the sun. I'm telling you, you could get. It's hot. It's hot enough, anyways. I think.
Yeah, and
for most.
For most people. And one of the other great reasons for going there off seasons is you get to experience the different fruits that are growing. September, this is a grape harvest time. You get to see people harvesting the grapes, and also figs. People love figs. September, great time to pick figs. And in January and February, you experience the oranges. The oranges, they're so sweet. I've never had oranges like this.
Yeah, and you probably saw some of our other videos eating those oranges. I would just go there for a month or two just for the orange. It's like I would call it the orange experience.
Yes.
2 months, we love it, and I think
oranges, tangerines,
clementines,
clementines. Oh,
avocados.
Oh yes.
It's a lot of going on, and I mean,
Yeah, there's a lot of even avocados.
Yeah, it's the island. You can grow everything on the island. They grow all year round. There's seasons for everything. Some things it grows just constant. It's a very fertile.
Yes.
The Azores is very fertile.
Very fertile.
Yes.
So the fifth reason is the simplicity of life. You can be a local. Become a local. Stay there longer. You get to know people, all the other Portuguese people if you're there longer. It's great. It's quieter.
Yeah, I mean, these islands are known for, basically, laid back, relaxed lifestyle. Okay, so it's there. Everyone.
You want to just chill out. Hang out,
kind of just go with the flow.
Veg.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to, even though there's lots of activities. Some people just want to relax. Sometimes people do what they're doing at home anyways. 80% of the time you might be around your home here in Canada or US or whatever, kind of just enjoying each other's company, your family and friends, kind of, doing some socializing.
Yeah, because if you're there for a shorter time, you almost feel like, oh, we have to do this and we have to do this because we only have this certain amount of time to be there. But when you're in there on the off season for longer stays, and I think you feel a little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
You know?
I think one of our favorite parts, of going back is is the simplicity of it. That's why some of our videos, we even, it's simple life, kind of not, when you live in areas that are more like a rat race, you don't want that. You just want to go into a whole different mindset, relaxation. And I think a lot of people are looking for that, even if it's just for 2 or 3 months. 1 week, 10 days is not going to cut it, So I think that that's one of the things that we love about going to the Azores, to Pico. And I think when people get there for the first time, they're going to feel that right off the bat.
So some of the cons for going in off season, because of course we have to talk about some of the cons.
Yes.
And one of them is the temperatures. But I wouldn't necessarily say that's a con, because the temperatures are between 16 and 21. So it's quite comfortable. And as we had mentioned before, February at one time it got down to 6, but again, that was abnormal. One of the things you have to deal with is humidity, and we did deal with humidity in the winter time.
Yeah.
But this is easily solved by getting a dehumidifier and a radiator. So, and we were still quite comfortable in the winter, and also having light your fireplace, which is actually, I think it's a pro.
But just so it's January and February, maybe a little March was the worst months for humidity. Wasn't
Definitely.
Yeah, it was just those.
Yeah, just those 3 months. You get a little bit more rain, a little bit more wind.
The month that had the most rain, I think, was January. But anyways, definitely more rain.
Yes, yeah. But again, that could be a pro, because as for me, I love when it rains. It makes me feel calmer.
You like rainbows too, so there's a lot of rainbows.
And the rainbows, a lot of rainbows
Yeah.
when that happens. So
huge.
I know we're
huge
trying
rainbows.
to come up with the cons, but they always turn into a positive. One con is marine activities. They do stop the whale watching, dolphin watching in November, because the ocean gets a lot rougher.
Yeah, like deep sea fishing, anything to do with the sea. Obviously, they're not going to go out when it's crazy. Now, doesn't mean that they don't. Like, if the water, sometimes in the winter, the water is very calm, they'll go fishing. As far as the locals to catch fish. Not so much probably the deep sea fishing sports activities, excursions. Will be taking place in January, February, March. I didn't see many anyways, so keep that in mind.
And there's more storms.
Yeah.
But again, that's a positive for me, because I think I should have been a storm chaser, or I was at one time in my previous life.
Yeah, in some of the videos we did film a couple of.
You guys probably saw that if you've been watching our channel. Yeah.
What they call them, depressions or storms. It wasn't too bad though this time around. 2 years ago there was a couple of heavy duty ones that kind of hit the Azores, Pico.
Yeah,
cons.
those are pretty much the cons that we could think of.
Yeah, I mean, we try. I mean, you see the videos, and if you're watching for the first time, I mean, we try to be transparent. We're sharing our experiences, what we like, and not everybody's the same.
Oh, there is one other con.
Yeah.
The restaurants, they do. Some restaurants do close for the winter.
Yeah.
We know one restaurant, but he's only closed for the month of January. So that's a con.
Now there was one that will close January, February, March, open in April, but not too many. A lot of them are open all year round. Okay, so but like I was saying, we're trying to be transparent, right?
Yeah.
We're trying
That's a good time to learn Portuguese cooking.
Yeah, that is good. You have more to do, and
more to do.
But we try to share based on what we've learned, what we're experiencing. Everyone's going to have their likes and dislikes. So the only way to really know is to go, right? So, but the good thing is there's so much research you can do. Obviously, you can watch our videos. There's other videos. Tourism has good videos out there. Yeah, and just I say before going, do as much research as you can.
Yeah.
See if you're starting to get a good vibe. But really, to get the feeling, that experience of what the Azores is all about, you really have to spend time there, a lot of time. It's not just a 1 week or 10 days.
So now we want to just recap.
Yeah, let's just recap quickly. Going off season, best time for long stays. And who is it most suited for? Okay, I think that's one way to put it. So, for example, if you have that, like you really want to be a local for a while, you want to go in, get submerged in the culture, be with the people that live around you, share learn, like Laura said, maybe even learn how to speak Portuguese, learn how to
I
cook.
said, yeah, learn how to cook Portuguese.
Learn how to cook cook, or anything that takes time. The long stays are perfect for that. Like if you want to get that, just immerse yourself into the culture of the islands, the people, being around the ocean day after day after day, even the different weather patterns. I mean, I think it's all healthy. It's all wellness.
Yeah. And actually, it's great for people who work remotely, because it
Yes.
is less expensive to find places to rent. So you could go there and spend some time, 3 months working remotely.
Yeah, and the government is actually, they already put that out there. I mean, they got 5G, 4G, all the technology that you need in order to work remotely. The Azores is perfect. Never mind logistically, we're in the middle of North America and Portugal. You're 2 hours flying time to Lisbon, for example, and other parts of Europe, and we made it there in 5 hours from here, on the way back 6. So you're well connected. There's enough flights, between North America and Europe. So a lot of people are looking. We've actually talked to some of the followers that are actually moving their business there, and they're researching. They need to be sort of in a place where, because Europe is the biggest market in the world. So if you're selling something, or if you're working with European companies, without being in Europe might be too expensive. So companies are looking for areas that are a lot more affordable for the company, right? So, or for an individual that has his own business and works offline, works online, not offline, but online, and could control. It's amazing. It's an amazing place. That's going to continue to be popular.
Yeah. Sorry, there goes another plane.
It's cloudy. I can't see.
Yeah, it is a little bit hazy right now.
Oh no, there it is. Air Canada. It's an Air Canada flight.
There you go. Best of both
Yeah,
worlds. Sat
Air
a plane in Canada.
It's also a great place if you, for example, you're looking to buy property there. You're thinking of semi-retirement on one of the islands. Some of our followers actually are in the middle of buying property on Pico, for example. Some that I know of, Fayal, for example. It's important to go and spend time before you purchase or during that purchase. I think I could not stress that enough. It's important to get that feeling that which island is best for you, and then spend time. Make sure, and spending.
And it's less expensive to spend time there, right? So if you need that time to go
Off-season.
and find a house, off-season is the best time to look.
Yeah, you'll have, that would be when I'd recommend people to go. April, May, October, November, even December, perfect months. And in the winter, like I said, if you want to go in the winter, no problem.
You want to get away from the
it's the most
snow,
affordable.
The snow and the cold, like the -30.
Yeah. But take your time. Buying a property is important if you're investing, and not only money but your life, right? So that's. I mean, a lot of people want a second vacation home, even though there's the plane again.
Yeah.
That's a U.S. airline. I think it's
there you
United.
go.
So going back to this, I just want to stress, it's just take your time, and the only way to do that is to spend time there, okay? And people that retire or they have the time, just do it. 90 days. I mean, long stay technically is anything over 21 nights, so that's considered a long stay. But a lot of people are staying 1, 2, 3 months. I think that to really, really get in there. And also, there's also one of my favorite things when I'm there is to veg. Basically, if someone just wants to go and do nothing, it's perfect. If you need to calm yourself down. I know I mentioned earlier, but we're recapping. It's important to know that you can do that very well there. It's affordable, and you can just really, really come down to literally a vegetation state. Do your juicing, right?
Yeah, get your orange juice.
Your orange juice, lots of wine. I mean,
so you got your orange juice and you have your wine.
Yeah, we never touch on cost of living here. That's always, and it doesn't matter when you go.
Yeah.
Because there's other videos, but the cost of living is lower than a lot of other places, and definitely wine and things like that.
Yeah, groceries are definitely less expensive.
So I think as far as the recap, that's it. Now, to end the video, we're going to call this "Why Visit the Azores?" question, and which does not just have to do with off-season. It's not just someone that wants to buy real estate, but anyone that wants to go to the Azores or just wants to visit the Azores for whatever their reason is. We're going to list out what we feel are the main reasons. Okay, Laura?
Yes. One of them.
Okay.
Peaceful.
Tranquility.
Nature.
Affordability.
It's very safe. The people.
Yeah.
The people.
The Azorean people, very friendly, open
people.
Yes.
Warm, welcoming.
And I think
we miss you all back in Pico.
Yeah, we think about you guys all the time. All right. So when we're there, we think about people here all the time. So.
Yes. Sorry, guys.
Air Canada. Anyways, the last thing I'm going to say is that the Azores, it's remote, yes. It has 250,000 population, all of the Azores. Half the population is on the big island, San Miguel. Island like Pico has about 15,000. Okay, so other islands even less. Terceira has about 50, I believe. But anyways, it is remote, well connected by different carriers, either from North America or over to Europe. Okay, so it is the beauty of it. There's nothing around, and that's why the marine life and the nature, all the different types of whales, that's what makes the Azores unique. And it's green and it's full of nature. Yes. You know, you either do activities if you want, or you do nothing. I mean, it's the perfect destination for various things. For any of you that want any more information on the Azores, or have any questions about seasons, tourist seasons, or just just send me an email. I think that's the best way to do it. It's the emails at the end of the video, and I think that's it.
And we'll put the email in the description as well down below. And please put any comments, any questions or comments. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, we thank you for your continued support. I don't want you to worry about us not doing videos. The ones that are worried about that, because we will do a video each week. We are going to focus a lot on videos like this, because a lot of people want information, and we're also going to do a video on getting to know us a little bit more, where we live here in Canada, our areas where we grew up. I think that some of our followers might be interested, or other people.
We'll even take you for a hike.
Yeah, so there's a lot of great areas here, vineyards, there's the lake, there's a lot of towns, and I think it's important to connect with us and what we're doing, and that's why you watch the videos, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the videos that we focus on is the wineries here in Niagara on the Lake. Beautiful wineries, and they're going to be doing some harvesting as well. In September. Yeah,
I think there's people that watch us from the Azores, from Pico. We obviously know there's lots of vineyards there. It's an amazing culture, and I think they'd like to see this side, because they also have a lot of family here. You see?
Yeah, to see the difference in how they do the vineyards there in Pico and how they do the vineyards here in Canada.
Yeah, I mean, and there's, who knows, maybe you'll see some of your family. I don't know. We'll see if they're okay to get on the videos, because there's so many Portuguese that live here. A lot of people from Pico, for example, from São Mateus, from around the island. Some of them live in Oakville. I mean, I think I call Oakville mini São Mateus and São Mateus mini Oakville. So
we're looking for a rental here. We're deciding whether we're going to stay in Oakville or we're going to go outside
nearby,
of Oakville.
But not far off.
Not far, maybe an hour, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, we're going to spend time in both Canada and here. We need a base here. So when we are here, we don't have to be staying with the family members and so forth. So it's like our plan is always moving. It's like an adventure.
Yeah, and an adventure for Zena too.
Oh, Zena's loving. She's actually getting used to everything around here.
and she's experiencing things for the first time. Like today, she's experienced a chipmunk
and a squirrel for the first time.
Yes.
Yeah, cardinal.
Well, and thank God we didn't have her out the other night, because a skunk walked right by us.
Yes,
if Zena was out here, that would not have been good.
We got lucky. So
so. We're going to
end it here.
Yes, we are going to end it here, guys. And as usual, please like our video.
Yeah, subscribe if you haven't done so.
Yes.
And glad to have you along. And
thank you again so much for your support. And we love you guys. And we'll see you in the next video.
See you in the next video. Adeus. You can leave the island, but the island... What is it again? What did I just say?
You can leave the island, but the island never leaves you.
Yes, you can leave the island, but the island never leaves you. That's how...